Welcome to I'm Fine, the space where we get real, we laugh, heal, and share stories that connect us. I'm your host, the Chic Ima, and every week we will dive into conversations that inspire, uplift, and maybe even challenge you. So grab a seat, relax, and let's get into it. Hey, can't believe I'm actually doing this. I can't believe I'm actually sitting down and talking to people I cannot see, expressing myself, talking, having conversations. Gosh, I can't believe it. God has brought us this far, and I'm grateful to God for helping me create this platform. Oh gosh, let's just get right into it already before I start crying. Anyways, it has been raining since morning and it's really cold, so if my voice seems weird, please just pardon that. Okay, welcome back to I Am Fine podcast. In case you never knew, this is a space where we talk about things we usually sweep under the carpet, but in a way that is most likely relatable, very honest, and very hidden. So today I want us to unpack something I know that so many of us has secretly feel, but rarely admit out loud. The pressure of having it all figured out by a certain age. Because let's be honest, whether you are 20, you're 25, you're 30, you're 40, there's this invisible checklist where the society hands us. I mean, I don't even know who gave them that authority. Well, people are the society. Different people come up with different opinions. So I guess they gave themselves that authority. I mean, a certain position where you'll be like, oh, I have to graduate by this particular age. I have to have a career by that age, be married, have kids, buy a house, be successful. It's like life is supposed to happen in a very straight line. We should always have deadline for every single thing. And if you're not meeting those milestones on time, it feels like you're just failing. But are you actually failing? Like, really, are you failing? You feel like you're failing. Now let's start with this particular myth of the perfect timeline. Somewhere along the way we have rolled up on this idea that life is a race, whether you hit those milestones or probably your first win, but nobody actually tells us that those timelines aren't universal. When I mean universal, it doesn't have a governing position in our life, and it's definitely not for everybody. Those timelines are not for everybody because we are born differently. We are different sets of persons. They are cultural, they are societal. That timeline is honestly made up. It's messed up at the same time. I have seen people who would look like they had it all together at 25, probably only to start at the age of 35. I've also seen people who lost everything behind at the age of 20, only to build something very beautiful, very healing at the age of 40. The truth is, growth is never always linear. That's what we fail to understand. And the idea that you should have it all figured out by a certain age is one of the biggest traps that is being placed in our generation. And of course, social media. Social media has made it so worse in a sense that you have to literally sit down, carry your phone, and then you'll probably see your friends traveling, getting married, launching businesses, and buying cars, posting shiny things, and then you'll be like, what have I done in my life? What am I doing wrong? What am I not doing? What exactly is going on? That pressure alone would make you think less of yourself. But let's be real. Let's be very honest. Social media is just an highlight. It's just the highlight reel. It doesn't show those doubts. It doesn't show those failures. It doesn't show those nights where people cry themselves to sleep. They don't show those student loans or those debts or those broken relationships or those media or those career changes or the quiet restart. So if you've been comparing your behind the scenes to somebody's highlight reel, my dear, take a deep breath, a step backwards. You are not behind. You're just not in your own chapter yet. Okay? Now let's talk about that inner voice, that particular voice that would always whisper to us, I should already do this by the age. I should already know what I'm doing by now. That pressure doesn't just come from the society. It also comes from within us. Sometimes we just measure our worth by how much we have achieved instead of how much you have grown. That's one thing I always love about myself. I always take the how much I have earned. The growth is beautiful, honestly. But sometimes life isn't about ticking those boxes. It's about the experiences we have learned on the way, the lessons, the growth, and the person you are coming along the way. Now let's think about this. If you actually had everything figured out at the age of 21, imagine how boring your life would be by now. Let's say you're 25, you have everything figured out. No, 25 is too close. Let's say, imagine you are 35 and you have everything figured out by the age of 20. Imagine that. It will be boring because you become in a constant position. It becomes dry, it becomes boring. There is no learning to do, there's no growth to do, there's nothing to do. There will be nothing left to learn, no room to evolve. Sometimes not knowing where the magic is, where the magic lies sometimes. So instead of asking yourself, why haven't I figured out these things yet? Now try asking yourself, what am I learning right now? What season am I in now? Because the season matters. Trust me, there are seasons to build, there are seasons to pour, there are seasons to experiment, there are seasons to simply just be there. And guess what? Even the people who look like they have actually figured things out, trust me, they haven't. They are just figuring out the next step, just like the way you are. The only difference that some of them have learned to embrace that's uncertainties instead of just fighting it. So if you're listening to this and you're feeling like the weight of that pressure, like the pressure is too much on you, let this be your reminder. You are not behind. You are not late. You are not a failure. Because your story doesn't look like someone else doesn't make you a failure. You are human. You are a human being. Rest. And being a human being means figuring things out step by step, year by year, season by season. Your timeline is yours, not the society. It doesn't have to always make sense for anyone, but to you, yourself alone. So take a deep breath. Let go of that pressure and give yourself permission to be a work in progress. Because honestly, we all are. Thank you for listening to today's podcast, today's episode of I'm Fine podcast. If this really touched your heart, please share it with somebody who needs this reminder, and keep having this conversation. Let's have this conversation because it really matters. Until next time, remember, it is not to have it all figured out. You are exactly where you are meant to be. Mwah.